Hi guys, Mark's here, Everything Tenere. Today we're gonna look at aligning your front fork or your fork. Especially for us guys who ride these hard, or me semi-hard, who maybe tip over once a while, do a little crash and so on. It's easily that your fork gets out of alignment, and when you're going on the highway you will be having your handlebars a bit off when going straight, and it's not good to ride too long with a crooked fork, as it could put some strain on your bushings in the cartridge itself. So we're going to look at what you need to do this on the Tenere 700, what kind of tools you need and what screws to remove and so on. So I will go through that here, and then you will see some small clips from me doing it, because it's not as easy as you think on the T7, because the handlebar is in the way for a nut there. So follow me. Well, first off, if you notice that something is crooked because your handlebars is a bit off to one side when you're going in a straight line, if you don't see that the front fork is physically, by just looking at it when you have your front tire straight and then looking at the handlebars from an angle or from the side, and you don't see it being offline or not aligned, then check your rear wheel. Check that the rear wheel and the chain tension guides are the same on both sides of the swing arm, because if your rear wheel is crooked, you will be going sideways in a bit, and then of course you will be turning slightly to go in a straight line. So that's one thing. Another thing to know is that you do not, or you should not, put your bike on a lift or on your center stand when doing this alignment. Either you have a paddock stand, or you have a friend that holds your bike from the rear, so it's straight, in a straight line when doing the alignments, let's say. So how to do the alignment? Well, first of all, you need to loosen a few bolts and nuts and thingies everywhere. So you loosen your front wheel axle. You don't need to remove it, you should not remove it, but undo the clamp bolts and a few turns on the axle so it's a bit loose. I also loosened up the bolts for the calipers and the fenders, so nothing is connecting, really putting tension from one leg to another. So that's important. Next thing is that you should loosen the center bolt here. So this one, when this is tightened down, it pretty much connects or fixates the top clamp with the bottom clamp, and this is what's causing your handlebars being crooked, because this is not aligned. So to align this, you need to loosen this, not remove it, just loosen it slightly so it doesn't put any tension, or it doesn't hold it together really. Then you need to loosen the bottom clamp bolts. When this is done, everything is loose. So I got interrupted by some moped hooligans outside, my son and his friend. Anyways, where were I? Yes. So you loosen the bottom clamps, the axle bolt, the fenders, and you loosen the center bolt. So how to loosen this? You cannot get in with a wrench here in a socket, it's too tight. So you need to remove or loosen the bar risers. So how to do that? Well, underneath here you have a ball head nut and a washer. So it's a 17mm socket. It's pretty hard to get in there. You need to have an extension. So you get in from underneath here and you have an extension. But with your fingers you can get it loose, everything here, and remove it the last way and also put it back. So when you loosen that, you can lift up your handlebars with the riser if you want, or just remove it completely. So if you just lift it up, you can get your socket in underneath, and this bolt requires 148 Newton meters to tighten. So remember that if you have a torque wrench, it needs to be able to handle 148 Newton meters. But it's pretty tight, but not hard. So you loosen that, you jump up on your bike. So I'm gonna do that, or maybe not. I have a little video clip of it. You do a CPR on the bike. So you make the suspension go up and down. When you do that, everything will align, or it should align. So you have to do that a few times. Try to compress it as much as you can, and then let it go. So stand on the bike needs to be straight. So if you don't have a paddock stand, have a friend standing behind there holding the bike straight, and then you can do the CPR motion. So you don't need to have the handlebars and the bar riser on the bike when you're doing that. You can just press down with your hands on top of the top clamp. So that's pretty much it. And you will see some clips of it here. So there we go. Everything is loosened up, and now it's just to get everything aligned. So I actually just lift up my handlebars, I remove the bar riser and I lift it up and then loosen the bolts. So put them back now. So now you need to do this. A few times, more than enough, I think. And I think my paddock stand is on its way to fall off. So now when you've done that, dismount your bike carefully, and now tighten by hand, or you don't need to use that much force, but tighten the center screw or the center bolt up here. When we've done that, check for play in your front fork, so, or when you tighten everything down, because if this is not tightened down, you can get play between your top clamp and your bottom clamp, and that's not good at all. So now I just tighten this down by hand, and I will use my torque wrench later on when I can actually turn my handlebars to a full right, or to a full right, so I have something keeping the wheel from turning, so I can torque it down. I'm pretty satisfied with that. So now I can put everything together. I will tighten up the bottom clamps and everything else, and then try it out. There we go, guys, everything completed. So I test rode it, and well, I need to go faster or really, you know, be daylight, but it was straighter than it was before, so I think it's fully straight now. So don't forget to tighten up everything afterwards. Don't remember to torque the top bolt or nut to 148 Newton meters. You know, the lower clamps are 20 Newton meters. What else? Well, that's pretty much it. So remember to work the suspension before you tighten everything down, and don't be turning the handlebars or anything else when the center nut is loose, and when you do, you know, when you have worked the suspension, then, you know, tighten it down very carefully so it's tight but not torqued, and then tighten the bottom clamp. So when you loosen the bolt up here, everything goes up a bit, so you actually separate the lower and upper. That's why you not supposed to remove the bolt, or I mean the nut. So just loosen it a bit, because then these two parts can move independently back and forth like this, so you will straighten out the fork. So that's about it. That will wrap it up. I'll do some more research and we'll add that if I find anything good, and read the manual if you want to know all the torque settings for different bolts and bits. And yeah, that's it. I don't want to get any more mosquito bites. I'm gonna head in now and watch TV. So cheerios, take care, and don't do anything stupid. Bye bye.